my friends, this is Cecilia again from Southernwind Kennels. I have certain things that I'd like to discuss with many of my team members and people that like to have some Southernwind puppies. I have a list here of certain guidelines I usually explain to my new owners that they come here to buy puppies, and I have to be very, very specific about this information. For me, it's very important that once they leave my office and with their puppy, they're completely prepared to face anything, and that I had made all the disclosures of things that can happen and how to prevent them as well. So I decided on doing a video where I can more or less explain almost all of this. I can send this video to the people that's going to be buying puppies, and they can have it as a reference. We call it the Southernwind Puppy Guidelines, and as sure, we always congratulate you as becoming part of our team. The first thing that we explain, and it's something that they always ask, do your puppies have all their vaccines? Well, puppies usually live here at 8 weeks, and they have had their vaccines, their first vaccines at 6 weeks. Then the second vaccine, they have it when the vet comes at 8 weeks. What other vaccines are required? Not any other at 8 weeks, but you have certain time. Usually we give 72 hours for you to take your puppy to your vet. So you discuss with your vet what is his itinerary of vaccines. As well, he needs to have in file the health certificate that we give you and the information that we give you, so that he knows what vaccines and what dewormings they have had. This is very, very important. There's been people that has taken the puppies, they haven't taken the health certificate, and the veterinarian goes along and puts again another set of vaccines, which is not really healthy to happen, okay? The other thing that we talk a lot, it's about the dewormings. We do a disclosure, a total disclosure, that puppies are dewormed when they're 2 weeks, 4 weeks, 6 weeks, and 8 weeks. In Florida, we have a situation where we have all kinds of parasites. It's very hard to control. It's in the dirt, it's in the water, it's everywhere. And puppies walk all over, basically, because they go out, they play. And even if we deworm them, they might be clean at the moment that we deliver the puppies, because definitely we always do a good stool sample, and we sometimes even send to do cultures just to be sure that these puppies are delivered clean. But there's a situation. When puppies live here, they're very comfortable. Their immune system, it's perfect. But once they leave, their immune system drops because it's a change, it's something new. And perhaps when the vet did the stool samples, the eggs of the parasites, they didn't shed, they didn't come up. So it came out clear. And you might take your puppy to the vet, and he might find either coccidia or giardia or hookworms, which wasn't shown at the moment of the health certificate. Let me make this clear. If a puppy shows parasites in his day of health certificate to be done, the vet will not give a health certificate until the puppy is clear. And I always make the disclosure, and I explain that you may find parasites a couple of days after because of the situation I just explained. But that's no big deal. For giardia, they use metronidazole. For coccidia, they use toltrasuril. You might have to give it 5 or 6 days of it. And we use Panacure here as well to treat everything, and it's been done every 2 weeks. We are really on top of them with the parasites because we know the situation in Florida. And it's not only here, it's all over Florida, and many breeders have the same situation. One thing that I do explain is that the first couple of days when a puppy lives Southernwind and goes to his new home, he might be a little bit iffy don't want to eat too much, might have a little bit of a diarrhea, he might be upset. And all of this is very normal. It's a new environment. It's a new place. I tell my clients and my people to please feed them very small amounts of the food. We use ProPlan. We use ProPlan 30/20, chicken base, all life stages. We love Taste of the Wild. We love Bill Jack, and we use it once in a while. Those three foods for us are like great, and they have worked fantastic. You can use any of them or any premium food that you want to use. I mean, it all depends on you. But remember, to make the change, you have to do it gradually, okay? And don't be surprised if the first couple of days they don't eat very well. But don't put a load of food in their bowls, because when they see that amount of food, I'm telling you, they won't eat. They won't. Just put very small amounts that they can eat in 2 or 3 lickings of the food and everything. And then if they want more, you put more. It's better for them to see very small amount. And also it's very important that when you feed them in an area where they don't get distracted. I like to feed them inside a crate. And because that way they're not distracted, they don't want to go and play everything, and they just leave the food there. The food, I take it out. If they don't eat it in 10 minutes, it goes out and it goes to a refrigerator, and then I bring it back at the next time that they're going to be fed. So the other, sorry, I have to put my glasses on. We always talk about the spay and neuter. Most of our dogs are sold on a limited registration. If anything is sold on an open registration, there is a specific contract for it, and you have to abide by other rules that it's not the same as the limited registration, because you have to prove to us that you're going to be titling that dog, that you're going to be doing something with that dog which is going to be worth use for breeding. Okay? If you only want a pet, a companion, a service dog, a dog that to be doing sports and not plan on breeding nor showing, then you can have the limited registration. It's still AKC registered, but it's limited. You won't be able to breed. But if you want to breed, then it's another story. Then we have to talk other things, and we have to go on another contract, which is more specific to what Southernwind requires for a dog to be used for breeding. The spaying and neutering, we recommend not to be done before 20 to 24 months. It's very important that they have their hormones, the testosterone, and everything they need to get those bones very strong, have good joints, and finish growing correctly. After they're 20 to 24 months, then if you want to spay, if you want to neuter, that's perfect. But we say it in the contract, and we state it in the contract, the puppies will not be neutered nor spayed before 20 to 24 months. The heartworm preventive. When you take the puppy here and you take him to the vet, it's very important, and the vet will tell you, that's very normal, about the heartworm preventive. They will tell you when to start it. They will tell you which pill to use. I worked with a vet for almost 15 years. I have my own way of doing things, but I am not a vet. So I am not going to say what to do. You go to the vet and follow their rules. Okay, that's very, very important. Vitamins. I do give lots of vitamins here. We use the new vet very much. We really like it. We also give a cod liver oil in their food, salmon oil, which is great for their coats. We use also a supplement. It's based on kelp. It's called, we use swords. But there's many, I love to use vitamins. I've always done it all my life. The 47 years I've been breeding. Even if I give top food, I always had vitamins. And I add always a little bit of calcium at around 3 to 4 months. So I'm sure that those ears do come up. Another thing that I always tell, if ears are not coming up, always have strong things for them to chew, because the action of chewing, it helps the cartilage in the ear, okay? If the puppy by 8 or 9 months has not has his ears stand up, you contact me, because I will teach you how to put the tapes in their ears, but don't mess with that before. The puppies need time to grow and need time to get that very strong. It's very important that the puppy is clean of parasites, and has no other second situations in his body, because ears will be affected and they won't come up. So be sure that your puppy is healthy, that he's got no parasites. And another thing that I add to the food during that time is cottage cheese. The cottage cheese is great, it helps. And as I said, the bones, things that he can chew, he can use his molars and everything, and those really help their ears and their ligaments. On feedings, we feed here on a routine, usually at 7:30 in the morning, and then after they get fed, they go out to run, to play, to have their time, and have a place where to do their things, so they learn not to poo or peep inside their kennels where they sleep. They get fed at 7:30, and then at night, during the winter, they get fed around 5 o'clock. During the summer, when it's hot, we do it later, because the heat does affect them, and it takes the appetite away. So usually in the summer, we feed around 7 o'clock. When it's a little bit cooler, then they go back into their places where we have AC or we have big fans, and they feel it cools down the temperature. But it's very important that you have a routine. You may take your puppy home with that routine. You can change it. You just slowly change it. You don't have to stick to that immediately. It all depends on your working schedule or your lifestyle. So, but we do two feedings a day, okay? The house training. House training is very important. I am a firm believer of crates. First of all, dogs love crates. Why? Because they feel that they're their caves. That's where they have their toys. That's where they eat. That's their protection area. And they should have that. At the beginning, yes, he might have a little bit of anxiety when you put him in a crate, but little by little, they'll learn. And the crate training, it's very important. Okay, the crate training, it saves the puppies from many things. Let's say you leave for some time during the day, and you're going to do groceries, you're going to do anything that you have to do, and you have to leave. You cannot leave that baby, that 8, 9, 10, 11, 12-week-old puppy loose around the house. He's going to destroy the house, and he's going to even kill himself, because he can chew things that will cause an obstruction. He can chew electric cables, and he can get electrified. So it's very important that the puppy learns to be in a crate and to love the crate. There's many videos that explain about it. If I would have to do a complete video about it, but there's a lot of sources in YouTube that you can find how to do it in a positive way, and always positive. So he gets to really love that to be inside the crate. Okay, dental care, very important. Dogs, they get their teeth dirty. I like to use those bones, that the greenies that they call them, to keep them clean. I always watch on them, and the vet will always be watching to see if they need a dental cleaning or not. But that's something that you can do it at home. You can keep his teeth clean and be watching on them, because an infection on a tooth or on a molar can create a big time infection in the whole body. So you have to be careful with that. Tick, fleas, and Lyme disease. Thanks God, and knock on wood, here in Southernwind, we have never had neither fleas nor ticks. I have never seen Lyme disease. I don't know about Lyme disease. I know people have had it. It's caused by the ticks and the fleas. No. Your puppy, you can rest assured that when he leaves Southernwind, he's not going to have neither ticks nor fleas. But you take him to your vet, and your vet will tell you what to use to prevent it, maybe in the area that you live, maybe the area where you're going to be taking him. The fleas and the ticks, they jump on the dogs like you have no idea, and then they also get the parasites, and you're going to be having problems. So I don't think you want a house full of fleas and ticks. I don't think it's very comfortable. So follow your instructions with your vet, and he will recommend what flea and tick medicine use. That's very, very important. The Lyme disease, I've read about it. I've never met someone who has it, but says that even people can get it. We did have in Puerto Rico something called pyroplasmosis, and it was caused also by the ticks. And I believe we do have it here, but thank God, we haven't had any situations, any problems with that. Okay, the toys, the shoeing and the safety, that's very important. There are certain toys that puppies cannot destroy, and those are the good ones. Be certain that these toys that you're giving for them to play with, they cannot destroy them. If they can rip them apart, they will be swallowing either the rubber or whatever they're made of, and then you're going to be ending up with a $3,000-$4,000 bill in the vet for surgery. It's awful. If you see that a puppy starts to vomit, doesn't want to eat, goes lethargic, just run to the vet. You can be certain he has either a bad gastroenteritis that he got into eating something, or he has an obstruction. I don't wish any obstruction to anybody, to really tell you the truth. It's not nice. But I've known of many people that even if I had explained this, they have gotten distracted. They swear to me, they didn't take anything. I've been on top of them. I've been like an eagle looking at them. Oh my God, puppies, they managed to do anything. So really be careful with that. Okay, the bathing and grooming. Yes, don't bathe the puppy once he leaves the place. Wait until the puppy is settled. Yes, you can bathe him, but wait. Bathe him and dry him up. There's nothing more smelly than a German Shepherd that you bathe and you don't blow dry him. Let me tell you, they stink. The best thing is to blow dry them. I have a dog blower. You can get dog blowers all over Amazon, anywhere. You can go into my page of the things that I recommend and order the blower. Always blow the dog on the opposite way that the hair is growing. And dry him well. Dry him well if you don't want a smelly dog. The humidity they create, if you don't dry them, you're going to be sorry. Really, you're going to say, this dog really stinks, okay? So dry them well when you give them the bath. No problem. Medications. There are certain human medications that we can use, but I would prefer to refer you to the vet. If you have confidence with your vet and your vet is good with you, and maybe your puppy got a little bit of diarrhea and you can call him, I know what to use, but I'm not going to be explaining this because it's not my point. It's the veterinary's responsibility. But yes, they will tell you what to use, how to the dosage of it. I can say that when I get a puppy that has a bad stomach, I do a little bit of boiled rice with no salt, no oil, and a little bit of chicken. I boil the chicken, I cut it in shreds, and that's what I feed them until their stomach comes in place. Okay, puppies get into everything. Even a leaf, dirt, whatever they eat might get their stomach upset. It's better to let them cleanse themselves, but feed them the white rice with the boiled chicken. It is perfect. It is very good. And the other thing that I needed to really talk about, it's about the situation of the slippery floors. The slippery floors are terrible for the German Shepherds. We all know that no matter your puppy comes from clean parents of hips and elbows, there is a genetic predisposition on the German Shepherd on the hip dysplasia. as well as on all the big breeds, like the boxer, the bulldog, which is not big but is strong, the Great Dane, the Doberman. I mean, there's hundreds of breeds that are prone to the hip dysplasia. And the shepherd, many people think, oh, because they're slanted and they're higher in the rear and they come down, they can have hip dysplasia. This has nothing to do, the hip dysplasia, with the position of the croup, with the position of the withers, that they're higher in the wither, lower in the croup. That's their position because they're trotting dogs. They're dogs that work on a trot. It's a fallacy to say that the only dogs that will not get dysplasia is because they're square. That's not true. Then the bulldogs, the boxers, the Great Danes wouldn't have hip dysplasia. They're square dogs, you see? So the point is to prevent the dysplasia to happen, because even though you may have the dysplasia, the dog can live up to 10 and 12 years because you can strengthen the ligaments. But one thing that it's very, very important is that if you have slippery floors, don't let your puppy play and crawl and change directions and start running it up and down, because I'm going to try to explain something here with no illustrations, but it will show. Bones are set together through ligaments, okay? So we have the socket where the hip goes. This would be the right socket. This would be the left socket. Then we have the head of the femur, that is the one that fits inside. And this is where it rotates, correct? But this head of the femur is attached by a little ligament, okay? And attach that ball or that head of femur in place. The dysplasia is nothing more than an arthritis, and it can happen since little to big. But if we can prevent it, if we do not allow that dog to be jumping, going up the stairs, slipping and sliding, this movement will stay here. If we start doing very rough exercises on them of jumping, slippery floors and things like that, this is going to start doing like this. It's going to start moving. It's going to have a rough. So what's happening with the ligament? The ligament is going to be getting stretcher and stretcher and stretcher. It's not going to be strong like it is supposed to keep that head of the femur inside the hip cavity, okay? I'm trying to make this, try to use words for you to understand. If this ligament that gets the head of the femur together here into the cavity, it gets stretched, then the movement starts wasting and wasting and wasting and wasting until you have a complete open socket and the hip is completely out. And that's what we call them the hip dysplasia. So we have to be very careful on the activities we allow our puppies. A baby shouldn't be running up and down the stairs at all, shouldn't be jumping, shouldn't be running in slippery floors. If you have rugs in your house, that's fine. If you have slippery floors and you see that the puppy needs exercise and wants to go and run, pick up your puppy, take him outside and have him had a lot of exercise out there until he gets tired. And then he comes back here. I mean, he can walk here in the slippery floor. He can lay down next to you. That is no problem. That's fine. But please don't put them overweight, no over exercise. If you play with the ball, you have to check that you don't overdo it, because they will keep on getting the ball and then you're doing an overexertion on him. And you have to check, you have to read your puppy. If he lies down, it means I'm tired, I'm finished, this is it. So we're going back inside. Be careful, hip dysplasia, it's there. It's been there since 1898. And it's barely like it's in a lot of breeds. Okay, so we're gonna try to help to maintain our puppies healthy. My dogs, I mean, you can see them here in the picture. That one up there lived until he was 14. The other one lived until he was 16. And they were perfect. They had no problem. So be always very aware of the dog and the exercise. The puppies once in a while can get growing pains, and you're going to see that they are very difficult in walking in the front legs. It means that they have grown too fast. Usually this happens if the puppy grows too fast due to maybe an excess of protein in the food. There's many things that causes the growing pain, but don't be scared. Just go to the vet. The vet will give you a painkiller, an anti-inflammatory, and will tell you what to do, but it will go away. Cowhockness. German Shepherds, when they're babies, and as they grow, they go and they are cowhock. The rears, they always, you can see them like that. And as they grow older and they mature and they do exercise, it will straighten up little by little. But sometimes when they're around 7, 8, 9 months, they're really angled and you can see a lot of looseness in those hocks. That doesn't mean they have hip dysplasia. It's just that they have to get their muscles strengthened. Dogs that are kept in crate too long will have problems, definitely, and will have very weak rears. I have seen videos of puppies that, they barely can walk because they have been kept them in kennels for hours and hours and days, and they just take them out for a moment and then they come in. I even saw a video of a puppy that they took out of a crate and he went to do pee, and he was by clock almost 5 minutes peeing, which means how long was that poor puppy inside a crate? Also, be careful with the crates. If they pee and they poop and they stand on it and you don't clean it immediately, they can get a lot of rash in between their paws. Then you have the interdigital rash, which is very bad, and they barely can walk and they look like they're walking on eggshells. Okay, so all of these little tips, it's very important. We are here to help. I know I haven't covered all the questions that many people may have, but always feel free to call us. We are here to help. We are here to advise. It's very important for us, very, very important for us that all of our Southernwind team has a lot of education. We go for it. That's why we do our newsletter. And if someone has a question, please call us, write to us, and we can do a video about it too as well. Okay? Well, I hope that you had liked the session of education for the day. Please remember to call us and maintain us up to date with your puppy pictures and anything that's going on with them. We really enjoy every time we receive your pictures. Thank you. Have a lovely day and a great new year.